kids? And did I mention trick-letter kids? Anyhow, hi, early good evening, and it is 5:37 Pacific Standard Time.
Just turned to 5:38.
In the entertainment capital of the world. Hi, and welcome to the Anthony Munoz, Jackie Slater, and for you, Chris, the Leon Lett, and the Hall of Famer Art Shell 78th edition of The Other Side of the Ball.
Ding, ding, ding.
Live from World Headquarters, AA, enjoying Coke, and bringing you all things A7FL. No, we're not talking about the white girl. We're talking about, well, you know what it is. Anyhow.
The brown girl?
Possibly.
Okay.
Or brown sugar, whichever one, perfection needs. Yes, Scotty.
I heard something about females.
Oh, okay.
His ears
Nevertheless, welcome alongside myself, Double Anthony Alvarez. We have, of course, Big Knox 25 looking like the bodyguard.
Yo.
Y'all got to turn down
came
your
in subtle.
phones. Come on, man.
Came in subtle.
I know.
Subtle my ass. Ain't nothing about you subtle.
No, but he doesn't have the Vipers. He does not have the Vipers on.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
He does not have the Vipers on.
Yeah, we chilling.
All right.
From the Rainbow Bridge of Asgard, coming off his interview and taking selfies in the bathroom, Scott the Viking McCorkle.
Hello.
Selfies in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Selfies, not fees. Shout out to fees.
Go on here.
Anyhow, and
I lost a couple of friends because I used to have a bad habit of going in people's bathrooms, getting butt naked, and taking pictures with the shampoo in front of my crotch.
What kind of shampoo?
And then sending it to them.
Head and
What
shoulders.
what kind of shampoo?
Oh, travel size.
What brand?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Travel size.
I'm a huge fan of Tresemme.
And back from hanging out at Tony Gwynn's statue, hanging out with Dan Fouts and Rey Mysterio Jr., the one, the only. And my co-host on Saturday is Chris Vera.
What's up, man?
Okay, so Chris Vera has something he would like to get off his chest and unleash some passion. So, Mr. Vera.
I'm not unleashing nothing, man. I just think it's funny.
Well,
so
the floor is yours. Go ahead. Take off.
So be pink.
We had a little post that went into the A7FL. One that said that one light-skinned A7FL commentator. Is that you or me? I'm lost. I have no idea which one that is.
I'm just the black.
And Knox is laughing because he knows exactly where I'm going.
I'm just the black skin that can't tan. That's all I am.
Oh, wow.
So which one is it? But
Don't know.
So then it goes on to say, when the Insomniacs are playing a close game and they can't insomniac, are the greatest team on the earth for more than 5 minutes. So that kind of cracked me up. And then when I went into it, I saw Insomniacs fumble 65 yards, and he goes, hopefully the Force recovers the ball, the ball bounced out of bounds or whatever, laugh out loud, and then they get the ball back due to a dumb penalty, and we hear a sigh of relief on the mic. The funny thing about it is, both of those were the man sitting next to me, not me. I'm wondering, are you the light skin then?
I've been called such.
He's Asgardian.
Well, I mean, I did get called the N-word by a African American woman in bed one time.
Yeah,
Really?
but that put a smile on your face.
Oh,
so
that was the highest
So is that like your badge of honor?
Cookout afterwards?
So that's your badge of honor.
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
If it's honor, yeah. But I just thought it was funny as hell because I'm reading through this stuff and I'm like, man, I don't remember saying that. And as soon as I read it to Scott's like, oh, that was me. Yep, that was me.
Yeah.
The only thing I could figure, you must be the light skin he talking about.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. Well, now that we got that out of the way.
Okay.
Well,
we understand that.
I mean, I think Betts is hilarious. That shit was funny.
Well, I wasn't saying no names.
I really thought it was me. I thought it was me. I thought he was talking about me.
I will say this.
I think everything's about me.
I will say this, and like I said, it's funny, but and I'll say it because Knox knows exactly where I'm coming from. He's literally told me, hey, you're a fan. You're damn right I'm a fan. I'm a fan of football. I'm a fan of A7FL. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give props to the Insomniacs until somebody beats them. And even after that, they are the national champion. You want to be the man, beat the man. And then I'll give you your props. You want to come out and play and be consistently good? I'll talk about you. But I give everybody their props. I was talking about it on Sunday when the Force was putting up points on the Insomniacs. I was talking about the Force. The difference doesn't make. fact of the matter, boys, if you want me to talk about you, make plays. You want your 15 minutes of fame? Make plays. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying that?
No, I
don't think
wouldn't.
you're wrong. I don't know.
say that too.
Betts is a playmaker, so like I
will call names. I will call names
so.
when dudes are making plays. I have no problem with calling names. I have no problem talking about other people. I have no problem with any of it. But I will always give respect to the teams that are in the top tier doing their thing. And the Insomniacs, how many wins in a row is that? I know you were keeping count. So how many rows?
If we're just going off straight national, that would be 13.
There you go.
I think what the problem is, and me and Scott have had this conversation on the back end, right?
Yeah.
Where because you're a fan of football, you can get caught up in, let's just say, calling the game or giving your feedback because of your interest in, let's just say, a certain player or a certain team, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? So I tell Scott, you separate Scott McCorkle from the Viking.
Mm-hmm.
You separate those two, you get great shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning when he's the Viking, you'll hear him. I hear him all the time. I laugh at him. Not like laugh at him. I laugh with him because it's like, this is the shit that I be talking about, right? Where it's like,
He gets to be a homer.
yeah, but it's fun, right?
Yeah.
But for some, we'll say it gets irritating. I told him, for me, it was irritating, right? When I was playing,
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, you got this and this and this and this and this going on, but this is our main focus. I even had the same complaint. Let's just say this play happens, but we just sweep it under the rug because it's them, right? That's where people have their problem.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with it, right? Is just separating the two. And I know how I'm trying to, you know what I mean?
You can be straight out, man. Yeah, this is come on, man.
No.
This is a podcast. You can be straight
That's
out.
what I'm saying. It's just separating the two. When he's the Viking, he's going to tell you it's we. When he's speaking in we, he's speaking as the Insomniacs. When
Well, I'm
he's
wondering-
speaking as in
but see-
us, he's speaking as in,
Which makes
as in
sense.
he's down there, but he's up there. You
Yeah,
feel me?
right,
So
right.
he's
But what-
not really giving the commentary of what. That's like, let's just say Tony Romo calling the Dallas game.
Yeah.
He's not going to pinpoint everything that Dallas is doing great.
Right.
Yeah.
He has to be able to break down what they're doing wrong.
So, but what I'm saying is, I'm fine with him. You know, that's his team.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But also, I'm also trying to work on that
But when
because it
when-
is a valid.
when I hear things about, you know, us being homers or anything like that, because we're following, I'll throw out names, Sickwitted or the Hunters or anything else.
Yeah.
And when we're saying, hey, they're doing a good job, nobody wants to talk about that. But every ear is open in a negative way. And when we talk about the Insomniacs, and it's like, dude, they're the national champions. Until somebody dethrones them or until the end of the season happens, what difference does it make? I talk about all the teams.
Well, let's not say that it's the overall team, right?
Okay.
We're going play by play.
Yeah.
And that's what you brought up. You brought up that, or they brought up, whoever. I didn't see the post. That they
drop
had
kick.
they had a fumble or
It
whatnot.
was a fumble,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
got kicked like it was soccer.
Did see
Yeah.
that. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
He kicked it for like 30 yards.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
intentional.
almost.
No, and you could
not,
tell
not
it wasn't
intentional. It was
at all.
like he was really trying to scoop and
Exactly.
score. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
And he, just like any
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
player, he kicked the ball instead of picking it up.
Yeah.
And I go, damn.
eyes got big. He was
Yeah.
like, oh, if I get this, yeah.
And what was the first thing I said? If you guys remember,
The
I
holy
said
roller.
the holy roller.
Yeah.
That was the first thing out of my mouth. And
I
Scott,
thought that was their ball.
I
Exactly.
thought it would have been their ball too. I
And
learned
Scott
something
said-
new.
Scott said
because
Brock-
I didn't want to sound biased on the broadcast, and I was trying not to have anybody hear it, and obviously they picked it up on Chris. I took my headset off and I was like, oh, that's their ball.
Yeah.
And like I could feel myself not able to stop that reaction from coming because like I'm still working on
I was
trying
going
to
to say,
separate myself.
there's still growth coming in
Yeah,
within
like I'm
that,
still
you know what
working on
saying?
it.
Yeah.
So like when I'm in the booth, there are certain things like I do react to. So I'm trying to separate. If I can't separate myself from the reaction, I want to separate the reaction from the microphone.
Of course.
because it doesn't belong on the podcast or on the broadcast, and I understand that. And I've been hard headed on a lot of things before, like that's kind of just in my nature. But as things set in, and as like more and more people tell you a certain thing, like it starts to set in a little bit. So I am trying to separate that a little bit. But like I pulled my mic off and tried to walk away because I legitimately, from my view, thought it was their ball.
I mean, it's
just real quick.
Yeah.
Just real quick. When I came in, I said that I thought the ball had bounced out of bounds. The reason why I said that was because the ref didn't walk and mark it.
he didn't.
So as soon as he didn't do that,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I think he caught it out. I think it was out of bounds. Because why? If you saw the man make the recovery inbounds and then go out, you're going to mark the spot. Because you're going to say, okay, well, it's a turnover going the other way. But as soon as he walked up and then started walking back and didn't drop anything, didn't do anything, I'm like, oh shit, okay, well, I guess he recovered it out of bounds. So
Yeah, but if you
it's
really
still
watch,
Insomniac's ball.
if you watch that back too, the ref really didn't even follow that play.
Not the way he should have.
Exactly. So with him not following the play like he should have, you never know, right? And then let's just say they challenge it, right, and we play it back.
We wouldn't have been able to. We wouldn't have been able to do
Right.
anything because we don't have a camera on that side of the field.
No reverse, no reverse angle.
But from when I was watching the ball bounce, I could see it
Yeah, we
starting
seen it.
starting to roll over to
Yeah,
the side.
yeah.
So I was like, man, that might have been out of bounds. And Scott's retort was, he was hopeful that it was.
Yeah, I
That's his
hope it
thing.
was out of bounds, but I wasn't gonna. I tried not to say it in the mic, but like that was my reaction. I hope it's not. But from my angle,
I wouldn't even say take it even that serious. You know what I'm saying? It was game of the week.
Yeah, I just thought it was
by
fun.
the way,
it was game of the week, and
you
it
have
was
a fan in Big Rob Fabian. By the
I
way.
fuck with Big Rob.
and it was a
And, he just said the same exact thing about you.
yeah, Rob big ass.
Hey, he don't seem that big when you look at him on the tape.
I
Nah, I swear.
Big as shit.
It was still shocking for me to see him in a sports coat as
during
Mad,
that. Yeah,
Mad
that
Rob
was built
Corey going with the blazer look while trying to stay warm as it was freezing in the East. But nonetheless, there was opening day on this past Sunday where we saw 4 games and paid attention to what's going on in Ohio and the Northeast. So initial thoughts of what we saw, what we read of week 1 as the march to the championship begins once again for 24 teams.
Where do you want to start? You want to start
Wherever-
here? Or you
Right?
wanna
That's
start-
what I was just thinking.
All right, so
Okay,
I
well
mean,
first off, let's talk about the matchup that was going to be a barmer to turn into a blow, which the Patterson U look like they reestablished who they want to be as they thrashed the Watchmen 42-18. Let's start there.
Huff is an issue.
Yeah, he is.
Huff is an issue,
That boy's tough.
and he like on top of him being an issue like physically and mentally in the game, like he brings an element of energy and that element of we can always win. Like he brings that it factor to your
Sorry,
team.
I'm laughing at
and
Rob. He said sports coat Robbie.
But like he brings that that level of confidence to your team to where no matter what, like you can play with reckless abandon because no matter what, man, Huff back there, man, we gonna be all right.
Well, again, just the perfect example. Look what he did with a very below average Silksy Animals team. Took them to the playoffs.
Man, yeah.
And had a close playoff loss against the Watchmen that were a part of the Final Four last season. So, I mean,
And now he's got some weapons.
that it factor is
Some big
definitely
weapons.
it's definitely right there for sure.
Well,
I've
and
watched-
when
I'll have
we're
to watch it a
watching that
couple more
game,
times,
when
but-
we're watching that game at the beginning, and that score was so close.
Yeah, 14-12.
Yeah, and then remember they had the issue where we lost the stream, and when it came back, it was like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? How'd the score just jump like that? Or what we miss? So I was surprised about that. I thought that game was going to be a little bit closer. I fully felt like Patterson U was going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be a blowout. I really didn't.
That also might not be. I'm hoping maybe, but I don't think that's going to be the Watchmen we see for the rest. Like it's going to be kind of like it's going to be a weird effect trying to compare or trying to figure out how good somebody is by watching them play that team.
It's week 1.
Not even just it's week 1, but look how well Patterson U played together
Yes.
from the very first snap.
Yes.
It didn't take any time to get them started. They were clicking on offense. Their 3-on-1 coverage is so confident.
just crazy.
Like it's so lazy and confident. It's beautiful to watch. Like so.
Well, they don't get out of their lanes.
No.
They
They stay
absolutely
home.
don't, and they also play. They kind of play with like
They
play
do their
with the
jo-
safety.
They do
play
their
a triangle
job.
defense.
They do their job.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Phil Jackson triangle defense.
Well, I mean, when you're coming
Huff
down,
was just chilling in the back.
when you come downfield and you are
Pass
covering
protection's a
that,
beautiful thing, isn't it?
Knox has done it plenty of times. But the fact of the matter is the one that slips, like we saw, is usually the weakest link at that point because once you lose your footing, they're going to blow by you.
Oh yeah, it's over.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that from this last weekend too.
I mean,
hurt.
I've never
That's
seen
hurt.
so
We
many
will get
guys
into
in
that.
cleats sliding around, man.
We-
I don't know
because-
if we're allowed to trash where we were at, but
There was that, and then there was some
Ooh-wee.
fans that were not happy with some calls that happened in some of these games on Sunday, but we'll get into that also.
well, specifically when Joey Gentile had his ankles bitten off, and they called it a clean tackle. But we'll get to that later.
Big man, your thoughts?
He looked great, by the way.
He did.
I thought you were talking about Knox.
Joey did look good though. Just to
Knox
see
always
him
looks
be able to get out there, you feel me, and be able to
Show his
be
talents.
explosive right off the rip. That was impressive. You know what I'm saying? I know he's always been able to do it. I played alongside of him, played against him. He's always been an explosive running back. He's just always needed that opportunity to just get his legs warm and get the ball going.
Meanwhile, also back east, the BIC pitched a shutout, and definitely it was a lot of giving by the Snow Tribe as they were giving out pick sixes for BIC. Even your godson of Krypton had one in the game as BIC pitches a 42-0 shutout wearing the fire red jerseys against the Snow Tribe. And the Animals beat the Renegades 21-8. That was the scoring of what happened in the games back east. The Nightcrawlers put up 50 on the Ghost, 50-30.
I was very surprised though that Ghost put up 30
Yeah.
until I read that
The Crawlers had 8 players.
8 players.
Yeah,
8.
8 players
Eight
playing
players.
both ways.
Did we have? And I know we had asked. Somebody had asked for like a roster on which 8 players had showed up to see if it was like some of the same 8.
we might
were,
have to ask Nick and Florida that question.
like if they were like the same 8 that showed it, like that played like if it was the starting 8 from the national championship. I kind of understand.
Well, you're not wrong,
No.
but I mean,
Well, they're going to play backyard ball anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, just the fact that they still put
And
up
do
a
it better.
50 burger
With 8,
with 8 is
that made me tired right now.
Yeah, just thinking about that.
So we brought up the fact that Trey played with BIC, right?
Yeah.
correct.
There was a lot of questions from a lot of people who was wondering how he would fit in and if he would even get any type of reps
Well, he
with
did.
going out there.
That's a good point. He got some work,
He
He
did.
definitely
and he showed.
And
he got
a-
busy.
And he got a pick 6.
He got busy
Well,
on both sides of the ball.
But, the question that answered that nobody has said anything about, how long do we hear, Vegas ain't it?
I don't
And
even
now
think
we got a athlete that goes out there and can play with BIC.
awesome.
Just something to think
Yeah.
about.
And he produced, and
Exactly.
he produced out there. But he's a different type of talent, though.
That's just I was just gonna say that's just an overall athlete.
Yeah,
you know
if
what I'm
you can
saying?
do it.
Well, no,
can
and I
pl-
agree with you.
Yeah.
But
If you can
what
play,
I'm saying
you can
is,
play.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, you listen to some of the guys back east before, and it was Vegas has nothing for him. But then we have a player like Trey that goes out there.
They're
and-
gonna say that he's from
and
out
runs
there.
and runs out there.
which he is.
Technically, he is. But
That's
the
the
fact of the
response.
matter is, he made a name for himself out here too.
He did.
I feel like
Athletes in the ball.
he had a name before this, right? When I say this, I say current day.
Yeah.
To what the A7 has become, right? He was one of the ones that started off in the beginning
Town beef.
when nobody really knew about it. You know what I'm
Town
saying?
beef.
So he always had we'll just say the it factor within him in all formats, excuse me, of football.
Mhm.
Right? He did the arena, he did flag, he did semi-pro, he did tryouts for whatever teams in the NFL or whatnot, right? So he's always had that stride in him to want to be great. I felt like he took what he needed to take and he left to go be great elsewhere because he saw a different picture.
Okay.
Very possible.
Just to get back to this Nightcrawlers thing. Okay, so no Bagway, no logo, no Rico, no BM and Keys, and they still scored 50. had 8 without a quarterback, according to one of our fans of the chat, which we appreciate that information.
Man.
So that just makes it even more impressive that they put up a 50 burger.
Chemistry.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
When you're used to playing football together, man, you could take 8 players. And when we played in the flag league, I played with 8 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's when you have that chemistry and you know what you're doing and you have each other's back, man, a lot could happen.
Well, our thanks to Travis Gallinaro. Forgive
Gallardo.
He's a
me for
nightcrawler.
botching your last name, Travis, but he was on the team, so that's impressive. Congratulations on the win.
That was your light skinned side trying to pronounce that.
Yes, it was.
Man.
That was definitely the
You should have
side.
let the Mexican side pronounce it.
I can't roll my R's to save my life.
Really?
No,
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
that's that's the sperm donor's fault. I said my R's, not my tongue. Different story.
I mean, I'm
gonna say
looking
you
at his
gotta eat
name
some
right
more
now.
butt.
There's no R to roll in his name, so
Yeah.
it's the L's.
Well, you could say
roll.
Gallardo.
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 Yeah, it wouldn't be Gallardo.
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 He said
Yeah, so I can-
Gallardo.
Anyhow, Travis, thank
Good
you for chiming in. and
Travis
letting us
G.
know That too.
That
Yeah,
could be
we'll
his
just
rap
call
Thank
you
you for
Travis G and call it
chiming in
good.
and letting us know about the situation of the Nightcrawlers, and good luck the rest of the way, and much health to you and your team. And by the way, Scott, you said it right, so good
Gang,
for
gang.
you. So, as we've pinpointed what happened out here, we start off with the Knox has a name for him. Chris has a name for him. The Cryptic Kings and
Yeah, Cryptic Kings.
your
Kings and
nickname,
Knights.
the
Kings
Kings
and
and
Knights.
Knights.
Yeah.
Put up
Oh
40.
no, I think Knox likes my name better, and I like his name better, so it's kind of funny.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Either way, they're going to gain their own identity, right?
One way or another.
well, they put up 46 with a 46-6 win against the Hunters. Chris Wallace now handling things with the Kryptonite as they put up a 40 burger. Very impressed with Alexander Flisk. He threw some very nice balls on Sunday.
Then
You
he
know,
threw some wild ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was actually impressed with the Hunters.
They have
I know that
line.
yeah, exactly. And I think that if they had a few more athletes
Mhm.
on that O line,
Mm-hmm.
they might have given the Kryptonite a little bit of a run.
Well, I mean, it started promising after that Wilson pick 6. On
Yeah.
the very first play of the game, you're thinking, oh, this could be competitive. But the way Michael Powell ran the ball, little Bubba, he ran the ball very effectively. Prime time, Mr. Tyrone Leakins found the end zone twice. And Jaden Isham Downing played very well on defense. And just all around good team effort by the Insomniacs. But I really like the way Michael Powell ran with the
mean
ball.
The
Kryptonite?
Insomniac, see?
You mean
That's,
Kryptonite?
that's the problem.
What's that?
That's
You said the
problem right there.
Insomniacs. Are we talking
sorry,
about the Kryptonite?
My
See?
bad. My bad.
See? That's the problem.
Insomniacs on the brain.
We'll get to them in a minute.
Okay, but you know it's funny. On Sunday, during the game with the Insomniacs, he kept saying Kryptonite.
Yeah.
So
It was opening day for me,
it's
too.
one of those. It's one of those
It
things
was
you
opening day
can't
for me
win no
too.
matter what.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, can't win no matter what you do.
But nonetheless, here we go. Here we go. We can't talk about that subject no more.
Jesus.
That
Yeah,
subject
is
that
We got
subject is over.
That subject's dead.
That subject is dead.
Super.
Got asked to leave it alone.
All the best to him. That's all we're gonna
That's
say.
all
about
we're gonna
that.
say.
That's all we're gonna say.
You let it go.
But nonetheless, Chris Wallace gets his debut in the national season. The Kryptonite go to 1-0. They beat the Hunters 46-6. So for the Hunters, they go back to the drawing board.
Yep.
What do they have to do?
Well, like Scott and I just said, they need an offensive lineman. I mean, realistically, they don't have time to throw the ball.
Or a different scheme.
Yep. Well, I think that even shortening their routes isn't going to help them right now.
They need
because
a quarterback.
Yeah, and I've said that. I keep saying if you have 3 quarterbacks, you have 0.
They need a quarterback.
Yeah, they need
They're
to
trying
pick
to
one
put
and
an
stick with it.
athlete that can play quarterback at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, they got ATH playing QB. Right.
They need a quarterback.
I would agree.
I would want to see the Hunters and the Gold link up.
You know, that wouldn't be bad.
Become one?
Yeah.
I would want to see them. Yeah.
You know, either that or like if I could get the offensive lineman off the pit bosses to go play with the Hunters and give them an offensive line or the gold.
these are the. I say that because these are the 2 teams that struggle every season
Well, they
with
numbers.
exactly right.
They've got
struggle-
some talent.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
they struggle every season with numbers.
with depth.
Right. So you got 2 people playing both sides of the ball, or 3 people. You know
Iron
what I
Man
mean?
football.
Well, and the only reason why I brought up the Pit Boss is because their offensive line was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but I feel like they're. You got, what's it, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
He's consistent with trying to build his team
Yes.
every season. Right, wrong, or indifferent, no matter the score, no matter the outcome, he's still about his team.
And who's at number 11?
For the gold?
Yeah. Because he was a pretty good quarterback when he came in when Jeremiah got hurt.
That was Jeffrey Jackson.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
No,
So
he wasn't bad. Adrian Alec played with a lot of heart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think Alec was the dude you were thinking about.
No, it's number 11.
Oh.
Number 11 was showing up.
he got some time in there. And Trevion Jones,
Got some time.
formerly
too,
of
yeah.
OTT in the fall, he got some time in there. I mean, there are some people that can play on this team without question. It's just, again, depth seems to be the issue.
Well, it's depth, and like we said, it's some of the key positions. You can't have an offensive line that doesn't show up, and your quarterback, as soon as he's snapping the ball, has somebody in his face. It's not going to work. You got to give him 2 seconds to throw the ball, and then you can shorten up routes and you can do other things that are going to make sense. But when I sit there and I look at what some of these teams have, it's like if I could mix and match, I would probably do what Knox said, and I would bring teams together a little bit and kind of bring players that you knew off of one team that is the Achilles heel of another, because then all of a sudden they're going to get better.
Oh, which, by the way, Quan, if you can play the highlight package from the Kryptonite and the Hunters, please, if you have it. We do have some highlights to show you, so here we go. Enjoy.
Maybe.
Well, just yet. Of
All
course, Chris just gave you the crush and the chaos. And this is a give to Powell.
Lil Bubba was running his little
He
behind
was
dog.
running with
He
some
was
passion.
definitely getting busy. I was impressed.
Nice
Yeah,
run
he
there
was
by
showing
Michael
some
Powell.
power, and he
He
was
got an
running
alley
with
right
some tenacity.
Yeah.
Looks like another.
Them having Page gives them a threat outside too.
This screen pass back to Powell. Well executed.
Turf
Boy,
monster.
this turf
That's
monster
that
was a-
slip, man.
So
Those
I
slips
just
were
feel like
so bad
that
out
that
there.
turf had very little of the pebbles in it.
It didn't have any. This going out to his right, looking to
That's a
throw.
great pass. That is a
Man
great
wide
pass.
open, touchdown, Kryptonite. Caught by Tyrone Leakins, a.k.a. Primetime. Now this
See,
one,
another good
good
pass.
grief. And then Page just...
Well, he couldn't stop in
No,
time.
but I'm just saying, just to still make the catch and still keep his feet in.
The Kryptonite are really good at using the using technique for blocking. They don't have the biggest linemen, but it's showing that if you actually know how to
good
block,
run.
you can actually get busy.
That was a great run.
That was run with
very
power
patient.
right
That was
there.
a
He
great
read
run.
that center
Especially with
and
the
broke
cut.
right off.
And
Yeah.
another
Lisk.
throw.
Downfield looking for Page. Got him. Yes,
See,
got him.
and that looks like a missed throw to me.
Yeah,
Because that's
he
a
underthrew it.
Yeah, he
Out,
underthrew it.
lost the ball.
I love this.
Gets it
Dang.
back.
He
Allows
was
it back
ball.
to
He
Fliss.
really wanted
Fliss
to
throwing.
win.
He's got Primetime open, and Primetime gets in the end zone. But
Bubba's
there
one
is
of those
a flag
guys I
down.
think that like
We'll
he
check
catches
the
a lot of
flag.
shit,
Hicks, the long
and people
series
talk kind of
goes
crazy to him, but he gives it his all.
That's in flag.
Smith will
A7 is more him.
He really
get
that's
sacked.
his
Ball
style.
on the ground.
A7
It's
is more
picked
him.
up by Isham Downing for the Kryptonite, and he is going to get to the end zone.
He
No, he's
didn't
not.
reach.
Out of bounds at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been waving.
Yeah.
Concentrate on getting in the end zone.
That's because he didn't know that the person.
Yep. So I mean, overall, man, that game, the overall game for that, even though it was 46-6, I thought that the Hunters played a good game comparing and they're growing.
Well, they didn't quit.
No, and I think that says something about them. And I mean, in reality, looking at it, like I said, if they had some offensive linemen, I think that they could have given the Kryptonite a little bit of a run.
Jeremiah, in this season, on a strong note, link up with the Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Try to put something together. Merge. If they do that, I see them being on the verge of some OTT type stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd agree.
That man, did they make a leap?
They did.
Did they make a leap? They added some serious solid players.
And have some
And
nice
some depth.
and some nice jerseys. Looking like the LSU.
Hey, Yodi
like,
Mac said they're the lemon pepper steppers. I like that shit.
looking at the LSU Bayou Bengals
I
and
like
Baton
it.
Rouge. Anyhow, next game, which it lived up to the billing as being the game of the week. 5-9, if you can air that footage, please. That was the one you got right there.
Which one are we going?
Juice in the backfield
Game of the
next
week.
to Scotty. Juice gets it. Juice up the middle. Oh, what a stiff arm, and still can't bring him down. With
That's good.
Schufert.
Hey, Tone played his behind
Yes, he
off
did.
in this
Everywhere.
game.
Yes,
Well,
he
I
did.
was just
Back
going
to
to say,
Wilkerson,
man,
and there he goes.
that's
There
the
goes
difference
Wilkerson.
with
This-
them.
He's
on
got a
this
lane,
play,
and Mr.
Trey
Wilkerson's going to say good night.
In this
That's going
game,
on to
Trey
a
showed he's been
6-0
working in the
lead.
weight room. He's been working.
Now
he's been
here
learning
comes
his
the
craft.
perfect
He had two
example
great
of the turf
blocks.
monster right here.
Check this out.
Watch the
Let's
turf.
see if Mr. Pilfer can do something with this. Because
Here comes
Oop,
Webb.
right there.
Got him.
Yep,
Oh,
got
he
him.
slipped. And
slip,
Jaden Webb
But, hey,
still on
look
his
at
feet.
Cody, though.
Can Cody Johnson
Come here.
catch up to him? 30, 25.
You
No,
got
he's
the
not.
right to
Jaden
name
Webb
in the
finds
end
the
zone.
end
You
zone.
got
And there's
the
your
right to
first 3-on-1 return of the season touchdown force. It's the great adjustment that Webb did to
And
make
then
the play.
Yeah.
Denzel said,
And Webb will
I
throw it
see
off.
you and I
wait.
raise you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Denzel was like, hold my beer.
But he's going to take it anyway.
That boy
Zelli
fast.
trying to get to
Yeah.
the
There he
corner. And there goes Mr. Daniels.
That boy fast.
Mask and all.
And it's
Yeah,
a give
reverse.
to Schufert, and there goes Munchie to the
Truck
left side, flag on the play.
That's a truck stick right there.
He wanted
He ran
it.
him over.
He got what he asked for.
This is ugly.
Scotty.
Ugh.
And he
Hey, yeah, they were over there standing over
Now,
him,
this
laughing
was
and
a
all
prayer
kinds of
that was
craziness.
answered.
Jaheim.
And that just shows the great arm strength of Fox.
That ball was bananas.
I was impressed with that.
That's a great throw.
I was impressed.
I
with
almost
that.
said that was Knox-ish.
And to trust
'Cause of
his
that
quarterback
arm?
can throw that far.
'Cause, I mean,
that
he was
means
off
they've
balance
thrown
going
that route
backwards.
together before.
And here comes Mr. Daniels.
Give me
Turf
that.
monster.
Gone.
Two of them, though. Two of them,
Goodbye.
though. Yeah.
Goodbye. That's number 2 on the day, Chris.
Yeah. Now
He was digging to try to
Look,
catch
Daniels.
up.
look at this
Touchdown.
face part.
And pays tribute to McWillie.
Well, the thing about it is, you start watching some of these plays, and guys
That
are
was
trying
a
to
great
cut
run.
and
Oh.
just falling
And
on the ground.
once
Man,
he
it's
went
like,
That
out-
was a great run.
Yeah. Once he went out, the game changed.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
changed
absolutely.
drastically.
And
Big
you can
time.
see.
And AJ.
That read by AJ just to come up field as that jet sweep's coming across.
Mr. Wilkerson in the back.
Look at this
He gets
block.
the ball up the
Trey.
middle.
Trey.
There he goes.
Yep.
Trey.
There goes Wilkerson.
With the seal.
There he
Two of those.
goes. See you
That's the
later.
second one, both for Ant.
Yeah. Two of those for what? 40 plus?
Yep.
Yeah.
85 yards. So
Here's Webb. Jaden Webb.
This is a good return.
It's a nice cutback.
He can really return the
Webb still
ball.
on his
He's going to be
feet.
a problem against any team that does not tackle.
Well, I want
well,
to see
he's a
him when we
problem.
go back to Chaparral.
How does he get wide open?
The
Can
safety
you be
didn't
more
come over.
wide open?
No, safety. The safety came over. That
He
was a
came
problem.
over. They thought it
Safety
was a
didn't stay
screen.
back because they thought it was a
And
screen.
it's time for the
Uh-oh.
first time this season to shoot the arrow from Mr. Schufert.
Not saying no.
Now just
Oh, yeah. There's going to be plenty more of those to come.
out. Oh my goodness.
That's juice.
got
That's
it.
the second
Big men are
time.
not supposed to run
That's the
routes like
second
that.
time
We
on the
do.
same play that they bit.
We run routes like that. Just give us the ball.
Throwing. End zone caught, touchdown. Empty backfield, 3 wide receivers.
The force
Rock
played
floats
with
it
a
up.
lot
And
of
there
grit
goes
in
Smooth with
there.
another one-hander.
Well, the force play. I thought the force.
They played a fantastic
They came
game.
out. They came out with the in my eyes. They came out with the intensity of, look, we're going to smack you in the face. You don't like it, we're going to smack you again. What have you got?
Hey, Tone stopped 2 extra points in the backfield.
Yep.
We didn't have an extra point converted, I think, for
think it
sure
was-
on the first 4.
Yeah, I think we didn't have a extra point converted until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, until the fourth quarter, I don't
Yeah.
think we had a single conversion counted, and that game was insane.
To me,
like I said,
Tones
it
was
lived
a
up.
major pickup for
It
four-
lived
the
up
fourth.
to
course.
it lived up to the game of the week.
The energy.
Definitely.
He had a good debut. Gary Weaver, 44 for the force on defense. He had a
had a
very
great-
strong game. I would have loved them to use Moncrief a little bit more along with Rodgers in the run game. I thought they kind of went away from it.
Well, I think that there's
Moncrief
something.
never finishes a game.
Yeah, and my question mark is, are we missing something?
That's
He
a good
never
question.
finishes a game. Any game that I've watched personally,
Yeah.
he's never finished.
But
I don't think he's
he
never
was healthy.
necessarily. Well, I don't know if he's ever let that high ankle sprain or whatever he
Oh,
was dealing with
completely
his
heal.
ankle completely
Yeah,
heal.
yeah.
And if you don't let it completely heal, you're gonna tweak it every time you
Well, yeah,
play.
because
Yeah,
the
100%.
best remedy for that is to rest.
Especially on that turf.
Yes.
Well, and not to mention the slips, because now you have your foot going out from underneath of you, which is really going to mess you up.
Also, shout out to James St. Patrick.
Yeah, Ghost.
His
had-
little chunky behind
Ghost
was out
had
there
a
catching that
fantastic
ball.
game too.
Okay,
He made some good
Dub,
catches.
Can we just? He is not Ghost. He is built like a ghost. He's not Ghost. Okay, there are some people who like we feel some type of way when you call him in particular James St. Patrick Ghost. Okay, he's just built like the Snapchat. That's my guy though. He knows I love him.
Or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Something.
Oh yeah, CJ said he had the worst falls because he fell twice bad on that 3-on-1.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was
Dude,
my
He
now-
slipped and then did a bear crawl for no reason. Like what the?
Bear crawl and slippage. But,
Yeah.
I mean, me and Scotty went on the turf early in the morning just to get a feel for it, and it was very.
It felt like
firm.
carpet.
Yeah,
It was slippery carpet.
Yeah, slippery carpet for sure.
It kind of felt more like the that old school turf
Oh,
that you had to
yeah,
wear
yeah,
sneakers
yeah.
on.
Mm.
It felt more
Talking about
like
like
that.
AstroTurf?
Yeah.
Dude, I hated that shit. Hated
I feel bad for
ask
every piece of skin that was exposed.
Ask Wendell Davis, of the Chicago Bears, how he feels about AstroTurf in Philadelphia.
it. I hated the AstroTurf because we played on it here in Vegas at what's the Silver
Sam
Silver
Boyd?
Bowl.
Sam
Yeah.
Boyd?
And you slide on that, dude. It's like road rash.
Mm.
It would take layers of skin.
Was turf tape invented back then?
No.
No. Okay.
And when you almost wanted to wear a long sleeve shirt, because even back then we didn't have Under Armour. We didn't have the thinner
Yeah,
sleeves.
man, you think that Under Armour will save you until that turf gets about 120 degrees, and then you realize it'll burn right through it.
Well, that's
Well,
why they
we-
had.
but-
That's why they had thick elbow pads back in the day.
So yeah, but you didn't, as a wide receiver, that was the last thing you wanted to wear,
I know.
because it gave the corner something to grab.
Oh,
So that was the last
would
thing
know.
you wanted to do, was to wear friggin' elbow pads. But when you hit the ground, trust me, you got up real quick, and 9 times out of 10, you got up with skin missing on both forearms.
So even though there is no moral victories,
Yeah.
but if you are the force, you feel like, okay, so there's some momentum from this game that you can build on. How do you build on that?
They are 10 times better than they were last year.
I would agree.
10 times better than they were last year.
The thing about it is,
Absolutely, without a doubt, their players got better individually. They got better as a team. Like those guys going out and playing together in the fall brawl kind of seems like it helped.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
guys seem to be a little stronger, a little more crisp. I like the energy. It's very unfortunate that Fox got hurt because
Do we
I
know
feel like
what
that
happened
changed
to
the
him?
game.
I think it was.
I haven't
concussion.
heard.
It might
Well,
be a concussion.
I hope it's
the thing
I'm not
about
sure.
it is the way
I'm not sure.
the way he was walking
lower
would tell
back.
me it wasn't
No, it was a
concussion.
leg
It was
injury.
leg
It was a
or
leg injury.
lower back.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at for that was when the season started, because we're all sitting here talking about scores,
Mhm.
and I'll be the first one to say the fact that I didn't think we would see a force team like we did. I was pleasantly surprised, and I say pleasantly because in my eyes, every team that pulls themselves up closer to Sick With It and the Insomniacs just makes the division that much better. And now we have 3 teams in my eyes that could, make a name for themselves, and in the playoffs could push people around.
You're not wrong.
If they can find the energy spark that Tone provides on defense,
On offense.
if they find that
Ooh.
same emotional leader on the offensive side of the ball, or
Who do you
here's an
think's Dion?
idea.
Who do you think that could be?
I think
Let
that's
Tone
Dion.
run running back.
No, I
Put
think
him in every once in a while. Tone is a good running back. Get him
Deion
in,
Fox-
even if it's not for Fox. Like he, I don't know if
he
he's so
needs to
focused on
be-
the game.
I agree, but he
Like-
needs to be more of a vocal leader, and he needs to be able to give him some of that, because I've seen it in him. When you talk to him
When
on
you-
the sidelines, he could get passionate
Oh,
about
he
what
gets
he's talking.
passionate about it, but I
So
feel like
show
he's
that
so
on the
focused.
field.
When you make a play like you did on that prayer to Lockett for the touchdown.
I don't even know if
You-
that's a prayer. I think he just knows his
No,
arms
it,
that good.
it was a prayer and it was answered because I mean,
You know what I mean?
When you're
Well-
throwing when you're throwing like that and you're throwing off your back feet,
Back
but
foot.
a prayer,
back foot.
but
Normally,
if-
that's not a very good sign for a quarterback because if you're throwing off your back foot, normally that's
the
spells
only reason
disaster.
I don't think it's necessarily a prayer. Maybe Knox can shed some light on this. And Chris, that receiver was still digging.
that he was.
He knew he could throw that ball that far. Like it was like get to the corner of the end zone. From here, I'm
chuck
throwing
I'm
it
chuck
to the corner of the end zone. If you're there, you can catch it. And
Thing
I
about
think
it-
that might have been the play call.
Thing about it is scramble drills, if you're coached properly, deep guys usually come back shallow.
To the ball.
Shallow guys go deep.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that we were always taught is if your quarterback is rolling out, go deep. And some quarterbacks, and it seems like Deion's one of them, that would be, and Knox, you can verify this for me, but as a quarterback, the first thing you're trying to do is just get it to the back line of the end zone.
The pylon.
Let your receiver be the only one. He's either going to make a play
Or it's
because he's
incomplete.
behind the defense, or it's incomplete, out of bounds. And that's what it looked like he tried to do. I don't necessarily know that I would call it a prayer, because I think what he was trying to do is just chuck it into the back of the end zone. And if his guy wasn't there to catch it, it would have bounced incomplete.
Well, it worked.
I feel like that was a player understanding who he's playing alongside.
Yep.
Right. They've done work on the off season. You know what I'm saying, and they put in that work. Right.
Mhm.
Let's just even say he knew what route he was running.
Yes.
So he knew, right? And Locke is pretty fucking fast.
Mhm.
It's pretty fast. So he knew, if anything, if I give him a shot, he'll get there.
Yep.
Right. So even like you said, I use that shit on the 3-on-1. If I throw it high, or if I throw it far, if I know who's on the side of me, I know I'm not the fastest, but I'm not slow.
No.
Right.
If I can get it down there and I trust the two people on the side of me, I know they're going to get down there. Right. I'm going to put them in position.
Yeah.
For everybody. So I feel like
Exactly.
he knew what to do. It was a good game. They needed that, let's just say, that spark.
Mm-hmm.
But we would have, like you said, just wanted him to either finish the game or even just command the field, command order. You know what I'm saying? And make his presence felt. We know what he's been capable of,
Mhm.
right?
Definitely.
And we've always said that all he needed was that shot. So to see Rock take that step down and give him that shot, he definitely did what he was supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Would agree, but I think now that he's got his shot, become the leader of that squad.
Yeah.
Make it
know?
your,
And I think he's
make
got
it your team now.
Yeah, I think he's got the wherewithal. I think he's got the maturity, and I think he can do it.
Well, the talent is certainly there for sure.
Definite. So all you have to do to take that next step is take that next step. And once he does that and he starts commanding that team, man, y'all better be careful of the force.
I would say, let's just even say he knows that, right? I've said it before. A lot of people tune into the show,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So they listen to your guys' feedback. You know what I'm saying? I even said it. You guys pumped it. Last season, it was like I took 3-on-1 very personal, right?
Right.
I took that shit personal. That was me.
Mhm.
Then the get back rule, that shit even made it more better, right?
Mhm.
More fun.
More fun, more competitive. It made you have something to look forward to.
And you have what, 4 of them?
Too many.
Yeah. You were the king of the get back
Yeah.
for sure.
I feel like
Even
we
made a
had
tackle on one.
a couple of them.
Couple of them.
We
Booms.
had I mean, we had the most in the league. So even we'll just say on the bias shit, you know what I'm saying? It was one of those where that was never spoke though.
Yeah.
That was never spoke on. With the new rule that was brought in, it never got brought up. We had the most in the league, or within our league.
Yeah.
We had the
get
most. We had the most.
Well, because they tried it out in our
In our fall
Fall
brawl.
brawl.
Right. So,
That
but I'm
kind of
saying
feels like something we should have kept track of.
that's something that I
sure.
kept track of. So when I'm
I
listening to, let's just say I was watching, you know, I was a viewer. We're talking this, and this. But why are we not bringing up this?
absolutely,
This was new.
we
You know
should
what
be
I'm
talking
saying?
about it.
This was new,
Mhm.
and the effect that it had on the game, it should have been a topic of conversation, but it wasn't.
Absolutely.
So that's
Right.
where I was saying I can feel where they're coming from when they say certain stuff is more of a focal point.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Well-
Instead of really breaking down everything that's going on.
But see, here's the thing that I run into. When you break down everything that's going on, it's going to be good, bad, the ugly.
That's what they tune in for, though.
But the problem with that is, just like we get feedback of not saying something,
Mhm.
we get the negative feedback when we say something that is negative. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, but it's always been said too. It's not what's said; it's how it's said.
Yep. I mean, look, if I got criticisms, dude, I'm
Yeah.
you know, I'll say it like this, and I say it all the time. I'm too damn old to give a shit. Seriously. At 52 years old, I don't care. If I'm going to talk about football, I'm going to say what's on my mind.
100%.
And I'm going to talk about a player or a team. And if you don't like it, I don't care.
And that's how I became myself, because I don't give a shit neither.
No.
And I'm not as old as you.
Yeah,
right?
I don't care.
So it's one of those where I had an opinion just like everyone else.
And
you know what I mean?
there it
so
is.
when I speak on bringing my opinion, I'm speaking more on a professional level.
Yeah.
Right? Because I see myself trying to be professional. I had to learn that I couldn't
You can't
be
listen
as
to the
vocal.
outside voices.
Right. So I had to listen to myself.
Yes.
I had to understand there's a time and a place for everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to sit here and tell Scott something that I would tell him on a back end level,
Mm-hmm. Say it to his face.
I'm a real quick,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We do that now. When we're in broadcast,
we
and
did it.
Scott and I have
All the
something to
time.
say,
Yeah.
we headset off, we
100%.
talk, and then we come back up. You don't know.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, it's like when I get criticisms for what I'm saying on air, I read it and laugh. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and we're talking about it earlier, and he's like, "You can call him out." I said, "Man, I don't really give a shit. I
Why
don't.
not, though?
I thought it was funny.
It's content.
It was funny.
It's content. You got to think that we live in today's world, right?
It's content.
It's content.
Well, but like it was pointed out to me, like Quan pointed out to me, he's like, dude, it's social media. If he put it on social media, why can't you call it out for him? He put it in the public.
Hey, we're live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Live on the other side of the ball.
So, I mean, either way, the fact of the matter is, if, like I said, if I saw negativity,
And that's why he's a part of the panel.
if I saw, saw the fact of when we're going through the teams,
that's why he's a part of the panel.
and
Exactly.
we see something that's shitty, I'm gonna call it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it. Hey, you know what? Coach dropped the ball there, or the player dropped the ball,
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
and that hurt his team.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't like it, you know what? Don't drop the ball.
Man, I'll be the first one to tell you. Knox was the first person to tell me whenever I was being extra biased or if I wasn't bringing shit up, he would call me, he would message me. We had a lot of conversations about it. And there's a reason why I fought so hard to keep having him come back on here, because the point is valid. Like, if we're missing something as a show, you have to be able to recognize, like, oh, okay, obviously there's some part of that content that other people want. And if our show is supposed to cater to the fans of the league, the players of the league, we need all these different viewpoints. And regardless of how much I may think I relate with everybody, that's just not fucking possible.
Well,
So
keep
we
your
need to
feelings out of
have-
it. I mean,
Exactly.
if we're
And
talking
so-
about it, so be it.
So and
I wouldn't say
it's
I wouldn't
not even
say
about a feelings thing.
Yeah,
like,
and
it's
I
just
wouldn't
like
say
a
I wouldn't say
different
it's
perspective on
changing.
things.
It's changing who you are.
Right.
Nobody's asking you to change who you are.
Yeah, no, not
right?
that.
No, of
Because
course not.
Nobody has asked me to change who I am, right?
No.
Or change who I am. You
Well,
feel
because
me?
you wouldn't do the show at that point. You're not going to do it.
It's not even a show. Like, and that's what I feel like a lot of people get misunderstood. I'm not one that even wanted to be on camera. Right? I had to get comfortable and just know that it's not even about the camera, it's about the conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you
even
ignore
when
the camera.
Yeah.
when I speak, I'm speaking on I've been there. I've been a player. Now I'm on the side of the media.
Yeah.
So I understand
Both
first
Both sides.
the player side.
Yeah.
I'm learning to understand the media side.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, I have to keep a lot of comments to myself. Even though I wasn't there, I was watching at the house because I was still picking up, and I even told Scott, I'm tuning in so I can see
We were talking about it the whole
what's
time.
going on. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
How we play off each other.
Yeah. So it's one of those where, from a player's standpoint, and where we got to this was a 3-on-1. Let's just say last season, you guys used to pump up these returners after the first game or whatever. It was like, oh, he's gonna be returner of the year. Oh, he's gonna be this. Oh, he's gonna be that. You got somebody like me that's watching at home, like, that shit ain't finna happen.
Hence why I called you the great neutralizer.
That shit is not gonna happen. But
Well, yeah.
you guys are pumping them up to where it's like they're the next person, they're the next big name because they're new. So they don't understand
Right.
that there's people who are more invested. You have the DPs, you have the Scoots, you have the Munchies. You can name people from all different teams who are way more invested differently, right? So when I'm like, oh, okay, everybody that you name, they didn't do too much.
No.
There's probably I think Cody had a run back.
Yep.
And it was one other. I think probably had 2 run backs all season.
Well,
Everybody else was a no-go. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those where getting back on Fox might be watching. He commands that shit and the people know him on the side. But to hear it from us will maybe give him a different boost. Letting him know, like, hey, bro, we see you. We knew all along all you needed was that shot.
exactly.
We
You
just
had
needed
all the measurables.
We just needed
hold
the
on,
other
hold on.
guy to take a seat. You
Hold
feel
on,
me?
Hold on. Mr. Betts, I'm not ashamed. And when you say you can't see nobody disagree with me, and I know it hurts because even though you glaze the insomniacs, not one came and said I was lying. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed of myself for what?
This is my thing. You said that was Betts?
Yeah.
This is my thing with Betts. Betts is a reason on why I left. I don't play with Sick because of multiple different reasons. Betts was one of those reasons. Betts likes to command the ball. He likes to do this. He likes to do that. But in a sense, it's a cancer. And I say it's a cancer because we'll get a play call. He might feel some other type of way. That wasn't the play call, which hence a pick before halftime that was going his way. There was a whole different play call that would have just been way decent. That isn't the first time. There's been multiple games where he himself has cost us. Take and hold yourself accountable. If we can hold ourselves accountable for what we're doing wrong, I had to acknowledge what I was doing wrong on 3-on-1. I had to acknowledge I wasn't picking up blocks. No, hold on.
Okay, I
That's
was just
cool.
going to tell you I was going to read the rest.
Hey, that's cool. Just let me get this off.
Okay.
And I won't have nothing else.
All right.
Don't be the one to be able to call certain shit out. It starts with yourself. You can call him out on the broadcasting. You can call him out on whatever it is. But there is shit that you have done that has not been called out by the team or by anybody, not even by yourself. It starts with you. Then you work on pitching the other shit with the broadcasters and them acknowledging certain shit, bro.
Well, according to him, half the people mute the fucking games because you spill out bullshit and it prevents other people on the broadcast a chance to make a name for themselves. The other people are really good, and 2 of them play for the A7. There's 3 of us, and Scott's the only one that plays for A7. I'm not sure what he's talking about. And still impartial. Well, we all know Scotty's not impartial, but okay. Get it together, sir, please, for the sake of the league.
How long have we been doing this? And I'm gonna speak on we as just a unit, as in just being on broadcast. It's been, we'll just say a year and some change, 2 years, right? Some whatever, right? Speak a couple seasons. I know how the fuck y'all are. Excuse my language. I know how you guys are. I know how all of you guys are.
Yeah.
I would say Dub is probably the only one who's not 100% biased. He has his moments where he's a fan, though.
Absolutely.
You guys, on the other hand, like I said, I know because I watch. But it's something where if you know what you're tuning into, you know what to expect. So what are you preaching for?
Don't know.
It's
According
not
to him,
going to change.
I was supposed to read this. Sports journalists should be impartial and unbiased in their reporting,
100%.
and should not allow their personal opinions for bias to influence their reporting. Okay. Cool.
It's a valid
He
point.
has a point.
Yeah, that's
You have a
valid
point. Nobody's gonna
Working on
knock
it.
you for that, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's a work in progress. Like I just said, I'm not someone who's been behind the media or been a part of that. Right.
So when I call games,
Mhm.
when you hear me call games, and we're talking about what's going on in the game, I'm still having a hard time because I listened to the game between the Insomniacs and the Force on my way into the airport this afternoon because I wanted to see what he was talking about when he said, "Oh, the sigh and all this other crap," which was actually Scott, not me. But and I'll take if it was me, I would tell you, yeah, I heard it. It was me. When I read what he had wrote, Scott said, "Yeah, that was me." So where is the biased piece? Because when it comes down to dealing with other teams,
I like, yeah. I mean, it's there. Like it's to, and I get like it's gonna. It sounds a little bit worse because we keep harping on it and everything. So every little single, it's like when you buy a white car, you start to notice every single white car that drives by.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those things. Now that it's been pointed out, and now that I think we're trying to acknowledge it. And moving forward, it's going to kind of sound worse for a little bit when it does happen because we've acknowledged it. So, like, I get it still sticking out like a sore thumb. I'm trying to get better about because I've been hurt for so long and because, like, it's been it just so happened I played one game in 2 seasons. I'm trying to take myself out of it a little bit more, and I'm trying to become more fans of players individually so I can root for players as they move team to team because I get really excited when I see my friends make plays. I do get super excited, and I'm trying to take and carry that energy even further into the broadcast, and I'm fucking working on it. But I will say that I thought I was getting a little bit better at it, but when I go back and listen to it, what you think you're saying and the stuff that's actually coming out of your mouth, they sound different, regardless of, like you were talking about earlier. It's not what you say. It's how you say it, because I can mean something in my head and it just fall out of my face a little funky.
but that's going to be all of us at any given time. Period. When you're a broadcaster, like people were saying in the thing, why are we acknowledging it? Doesn't matter. Well, we're acknowledging it because it was brought up. We're talking. We're the thing about it is we are not. I'm not Stephen A. I'm not some of the other people that were brought up on here. Look, bottom line is I don't care in reality because when we're talking football, however you say something, Doug gets excited. I get excited from plays.
Mm-hmm.
And if it happens to be so, are we supposed to tune down our excitement when we see a big play and it happens to be the Insomniacs? Should it, instead of being, oh, he just took the ball, he's going to the 50, the 40, or should it be, yeah, he caught the ball, he's passing the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20.
Not everybody
and
can
he goes in for a touchdown.
Not everybody can sound like Pat Summerall.
But what I'm saying is, we have a spur of the moment of what's happening on the field, and we talk about it for what we see.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say anybody who thinks that they could do a better job, I don't get paid for this. I'm having fun. Come on up, take my spot, and I'll critique you. And the thing about it is, when you start talking about, you saw it when you were there on Sunday. When we start talking about this stuff, it's spur of the moment. This isn't something that we're then watching a replay and then talking about it. We're talking about what's going on the field right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get a little excited about something because it's a big play, who gives a shit what team it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we didn't give you your props because you made a big hit? Dude, I don't know how many times I've heard Scott go, ooh, when a guy gets hit. It doesn't matter who the player is.
That's my favorite part.
Or when I see a big, when I see a catch,
favorite part.
my favorite are receivers. And when I see certain players run routes, I'm like, damn. That's why I call Munchie 4th and Munchie. The dude does not miss a pass. Darren Palmer's another one. Those two guys right now, in my eyes, are some of the best receivers in our division. Maybe even in the league. But because I like watching those guys and I give them their props for what they're doing, that makes me a bad guy, a bad commentator?
No, you good. I would say, you said, people say, why talk about it? I say, in my opinion, talk about it because it shows that we hear you.
Yeah.
Right? We hear you. Now, what is done after that is to show if we were listening to you or if we just heard you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we heard you.
Again, nobody's I'm not telling you to change what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that makes it exciting. But like Scott said, he gets excited when he sees his friends or people that he knows make plays.
Yeah.
So all we ask as fans of the game, give us something to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of yours. I'm a fan of DP. I'm a fan of, and I've already said it, I'm a fan of friggin' RTC. I'm a fan of a bunch of players. I could start naming players from the beginning. You know, Moriarty, I know he's hurt. I'm a fan of his. I think he's a good quarterback. You know, I could go on and on and on of all the guys that I've watched play. And this ain't, yeah, I'm a fucking fan. I played the damn game for 22 years in flag.
Mm-hmm.
And now can't play anymore. I'm not even going to try my ass out in A7. But yeah, I'm a fan of the players. And I'm a fan of even players from back east and what they can do. Watching Huff, dude, I'm a big fan.
Let me give you an example. It just popped in.
Yeah.
Right. Something where he could say, let's just say, we'll use him as an example. He makes a good run, right? Against
Who, Huff?
No. We'll use Betts.
Okay.
He makes a good catch and run against we'll just say OTT or somebody.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Great run.
Yep.
The commentary on our end will be, oh, great run, great catch, woo, woo, woo. But that would have never happened if they were playing the Insomniacs. I'm not saying it would be like that word for word, verbatim, you know what I'm saying? But it would be along the lines of, oh, great, woo, 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 but you would still compare it to something that the Insomniacs have done when they have nothing to do with the topic.
Man, I'm going to have to go back and listen to games because I don't recall any of us saying any of that.
I knew he was going to bring this up. He didn't tell me about it, but I had a feeling earlier he was going to bring this up. It's happened 3 times in this show since we've started. And not just you.
On the podcast.
We've all done it. On this very podcast, in this conversation.
In general.
Okay.
But it happens also in the games.
In general.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that's a very good point, and honestly, like I started hearing it this weekend because there is so much conversation about it. Super good point. It happens a lot. We do it, but also, I mean, there's no excuse. We do it.
When you're a fan, of course, that's what makes it.
I just think it's more noticeable because sometimes we compare all the returners to like Savion, or we compare all the returners to Lavish, and every comparison for a 3-on-1 throw off is a comparison to you now.
Let me ask you something. You're old enough. When you saw a damn good corner come out, who'd you compare him to? I always compared him to Dion.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
No.
Is that the wrong thing to do? So when you're talking about when we are in a broadcast and all these people that are watching don't know these players from anyone, but they understand because they might have watched the Insomniacs play in the championship. They might have watched the Force play in a playoff game, and you're bringing that up as a comparison so they understand. This isn't about the players. Keep that in mind. This is about our audience. And this is about them understanding the game of football. And if we can't make comparisons, then how do they understand a damn thing?
Okay, and from a player's point of view, let's be completely frank.
Okay.
The players are more than half the fucking audience. And that's what they want to see. They want to see them. They want to hear them.
What was the broadcast number for
us,
Sunday?
Like that, that's
I know at one point.
But I know caffeine was crazy.
Caffeine was crazy.
I know at one point.
I know
at one point we had over 60,000 views on caffeine.
Yeah,
so I'm not saying my opinion is right. I'm not saying what my opinion is right. I'm just saying this is a thought process coming from like the first thing that popped in my head is we're the ones that are active in the chat. We're the ones that are active, like you know what I mean, like.
But my point that I'm trying to make, the point that I'm trying to make is the fact that when we are talking, when we're in broadcast,
right.
We're not talking to the players. The players are on the field. They might be listening, but we're talking to those 60,000 on caffeine.
Can I tell you that that's one of the reasons that I fell in love with A7 though, is because I legitimately felt like Corey and them, like during that fall brawl, I thought that Corey, Rob, and Matt did an amazing job at making us feel like we were a part of that broadcast.
The fall brawl or the
very first fall brawl that I played in.
Okay.
When they were doing the broadcast for it, it is part of the reason that made me fall in love with A7. And I have to be honest about this because this was my experience.
Matt Ryan. That's my guy.
You know what I mean? Like
they
actually made me fall further in love with the sport because of how engaged they were. Corey called me and used the quotes that I said during the phone call on the broadcast during the next game. That shit was huge to me. That made a difference to me. That made it feel like I mattered. And maybe we're not giving that same experience to the next guy. Maybe that's why I am so passionate about the league, because they gave me, and maybe we're not giving it to every single team. And I'll do better
but
about it
hold
because
on.
that
Travis
shit made me feel different.
Travis just says something that I completely agree with. He says, y'all compare everyone to the best. It's the competitive nature.
But JB,
And I agree with that.
But Coach JB of the Insomniacs also says something that I agree with,
Which is
where he said that I hate. He said it. Hold on, let me. He said I hate that we pretty much bring up. I think he meant bring up, right? Don't make me sound stupid. I'm gonna say he meant bring up, but he said I hate the fact that we bring up Danye and Davik like we haven't won anything without them. We lost them, but it downplays the other receivers on the Insomniacs.
What?
He has a point.
he does have a point.
Because you can't talk Insomniacs unless you bring up Danye and Davik, but they've also been gone.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And they just
last
won.
season and this season.
But we still bring them up and we still talk about them like they're not doing anything on a whole different level. Shout out to the Lucky Sevens.
Yes.
Um,
But aren't they, and correct me if I'm wrong now, in the broadcast, I don't think we, I don't remember if we brought them up. All I remember was,
it's a general. It's
It's a
not,
generalization.
It's not something that let's just say gets brought up every time. It's
Yeah.
a generalized statement on that's something that keeps getting brought up as far as those two names. Not saying that they're not important, but
are
they're
they
not
still part of the team?
They're not a part of this league right now.
But are they still part of the
But
team?
they're not a part of this league. They are under contract on a whole nother league doing
Yeah.
some whole other stuff.
Yeah. Well, agreed. But I'm just saying, are they or aren't they not part of the team
No,
still?
not right
Okay.
now. They are not.
But see, when and that's where you come into the fact of playing that game of, well, not right now. Okay, so are
No,
players
that
hold
comes
on.
down to us
Let
doing
me finish.
our homework and
But
understanding
let me
the
finish.
assignment.
Let me finish. Whenever there's a team, whether it's BIC, whether it's Patterson U, whether it's Insomniacs, whether it's Kryptonite, the Force, it don't matter. What I'm saying
Read
is
what
that
Coach JB said.
what I'm saying is that if guys are still part of a team, cool. We don't want to talk about them. We won't.
But read what Coach JB said.
I remember that too.
Me too, 'cause I was there.
I mean, they will be back for the playoffs
If the season isn't going on with the Lucky Sevens because they are under contract.
because they're under contract.
Oh, what is it? Is that their playoff time?
I don't know. I don't know too much.
I don't know either. I don't even
No
know
one
when the
knows.
games start.
Hey, the organization knows what's going on, right? But again, that's coming from the organization themselves where they have other names and they have other talents. But like the topic of conversation was, we can speak on other things without having to bring up people who aren't here.
I
That's
understand that.
Well,
That's all.
and let me tell you what'll happen. We'll start talking about everybody that's there and nobody that isn't, and somebody will get upset, and we'll have another
Can't please everybody.
same thing. That
Hey.
is 1,000% of what I'm
Can't
talking
please
about.
Everybody.
Everything that we've been discussing right here,
Mhm.
and everything we've said to this point, that has been my exact point. You can please some of the people some of the time. You can't please all the people all the time. And it doesn't matter if we did exactly what everybody in here out there said, there'd be somebody else that'd come at us a different way because we didn't say or do something that they wanted us to say or do. So that's why I said that, look, I can't please everybody. So my point being is I'm going to continue doing what I do. And if you don't like it, okay. I don't know what to tell you.
Tell them to
But
just
somebody is not
tell
going
them
to
to
like it.
just mute their TVs when you're talking.
There you go. There you go.
We do have two other games to talk about. Quan, if you can cue up the footage between Sick and the Pit Bosses, in which
One of the biggest pickups that
got the
Sick
win.
made was picking up Lugo.
Yeah.
Him as an
Agreed.
outside blocker.
Him and
is-
Diggs.
him and Diggs, yes.
Yeah.
Him. Oh yeah, no. Diggs is insane. Kobe is another. is another one that's versatile.
It's so hard looking at them in white uniforms.
Right.
Joey, look at that downfield blocking by DP.
Thank you, Mr. Hornbeak. We appreciate it.
Inside the 30, pushing about the 25-yard line.
Which, by the way,
DP dragging him in.
Fees came back and he looked real solid also on the defensive end.
Yeah, he did.
Fees and Matt Murphy or something special.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
DP on the end around.
Yeah, look
look
at that.
Downfield blocking.
Look at that.
Downfield blocking.
Yeah, where were you taking him?
Who did
To
I
the-
just talk
to
about?
the
Lugo just
bus?
had a pancake.
Yes.
Said it was time for him to go home.
Lugo's one of those guys that proves you don't have to be the biggest guy in the world to be a great blocker.
Oh, no.
He's tall and he's lanky, but he's not the biggest dude in the world.
No, just
Great
want
blocker.
to.
And it's the 3-on-1 return, and it's taken by, that looks like a number 9.
And that was the other thing.
Southern.
So that was the other thing.
That was
When
a
we were
good one.
watching this game,
I love that.
The hardest thing to do was to call those damn numbers because you couldn't see them.
Intercepted.
What, for who? Pit boss?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could not see them.
Could not see anything.
So we were literally waiting for them to turn around and for it
You
to
had to
come up
catch
on
them
the
in the glare.
screen so that way you could see what number they were.
Which, by the way, shout out to Mel Carey for his amazing camera work this
Fees
past
thought he
Sunday.
was out of there.
And then picked off. Fees off the deflection. I think
He got up slow right here. I was a
A
little
little nervous because
Yeah.
he had just injured that foot.
Formerly of the force.
Gentile with a good run.
Gentile to the right side. Still got a
Explosive.
He might get in.
Oh, yeah.
And
Strong.
yes,
Good
he will
balance.
get in.
Yeah.
He's got good field vision.
I don't know what you guys, because we're going to speak as a you guys. I don't know what the hell y'all was thinking putting him at receiver.
Yeah, that's a little different.
We know.
So
Joey,
look at
this
this
play,
run.
we talked about that. We talked about this, and we thought this was a crackback initially. But if you slow it down, the guy actually got in front of the defenders,
Oh,
established
look at Diggs,
himself.
though.
the
look at
block.
Diggs with two big blocks.
Ah,
Two
look at
big
those
blocks
boys.
for that.
Convoy and Curtis
But he
Jones.
established himself in front of the defender and then came back at him and hit him in the chest.
This
Oh,
is scary.
Big man with football. That's a
But then
first
look at
down.
this.
Big men are not supposed to run like this.
Yeah. Or cough up the ball.
Ball's loose.
Houston looked like he
Picked up
blew
by
a tire.
Houston,
Yeah.
And Devin Houston is going to do it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think he did
flips
because
to the
remember I said
1-yard
when he was
line.
walking back to the sideline, it looked like he was
Yeah, the
hamstring.
hitching is getting
Yeah.
This was a great
Julio
run.
looked
Good to
coming
see
back.
Julio coming back for sure, yes.
Yeah.
Nice running by Morrow, still on his feet. Looks like the 17-yard line.
Joe got in that quarterback.
And that was that's a
That's a hard
strong
runner
run
to
right
stop.
there, man.
Still the 48-yard line on second
I think he played that better than he played linebacker.
Really?
He did. That
Yeah.
wildcat.
Take a shot downfield.
That was a one-handed catch.
Intercepted by Cool
One-handed.
Case Justin
Yeah.
Shepard. Shepard picks it off.
Oh, yeah.
Shepard getting some blocks.
He
Shepard coming back
not
upfield.
pitching nothing.
No, he's taking
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
45.
He's
taking
trying to
it.
get pictures, highlights, all that.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't pitching
Pointing
nothing.
at the photographer. all
Yeah,
that.
look at
Yeah.
me.
And it's Mora to the corner, inside, touchdown.
Really impressed with
Sick
Mora's
Running
like
ability.
his not even that, his willingness to put his shoulders down, square his shoulders up and really get after it after sustaining the injury that he just did and coming back so quickly. It was impressive.
So, from an analytical standpoint,
Mhm.
how did your former organization look on Sunday?
They look good. They did. They look good. I didn't know, just like half of you guys probably didn't know, or if any of us knew what their roster was going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
No idea.
But to see what they came out with and to see how they executed, they look like they really didn't miss a beat.
No.
Mm-mm.
What I saw on Sunday was what we had talked about, which happens all the time, that first game jitters
Mm-hmm.
with everyone. Everyone looked kind of sloppy in the first half, and then as the games went on, they got better because it was almost like, okay, yeah, the season started, this first game, and it was across the not just across our division, but across
The league-
A7,
league-wide.
the league wide. When you started watching the first quarters of all the games, very sloppy, and then all of a sudden you see everybody dug in and it started to
Once they
click.
got into a rhythm.
Yep.
But I would say this, unless it was something wrong with JG,
Mhm.
me from a personal standpoint, I would have wanted to see him finish the rest of that game.
Yeah.
If there was something wrong with him, then okay, cool. But if there wasn't anything wrong with him, I would have wanted to see him finish that game, utilize the game itself, and get that offense really
In
tight.
rhythm.
You know
In
what I'm
rhythm.
saying? And use it as a practice, if anything. You know what I'm saying?
Can I
Let him
interject
finish.
real quick?
Go ahead.
Take your headphones off, all of you.
And on cue, he wakes up.
He's got that
Your
bewildered
boy
look.
was snoring like crazy on there.
He got that big bewildered
He
look
is
on his
not
face. Like,
Never a dull moment on the other side of the ball, let me tell you. Anyhow, last bit of footage, OTT and the gold. Quan, when you get set, please roll that footage if you mind, sir.
that's a working man.
He's a
right
working
there.
man
That's
now,
a
yeah.
working man
He's
right
a
there.
working man right
That
now.
man's hot.
Brought us some colorful cookies.
Those are, I think those are
The new
macaroons.
digs of
I
over the
wouldn't
top.
know.
Chris Vera with you. Sims to throw.
OTT stacked
Underneath.
up. Crown with a nice move.
Crown got busy on that.
That's a
Oh,
first
yeah.
down.
Crown's
He is gone.
he's super athletic.
Yeah.
It is a touchdown for over
You know,
the
but
top.
it's the same thing with over the top that we were talking about for some of these other
And we're
teams.
trying to see who
Who's
it
their
is.
quarterback?
They got
that
too many.
Crown?
Yeah.
Exactly.
They got multiple.
It's
Yes.
like just let Yodi do his thing.
You think so?
Yeah,
I like it.
Reeves.
yeah. Let him do his
What a
thing.
pick.
Trying to do the jump throw.
That was peasy.
Intercepted.
The pressure from Harry Potter.
And the thing about it is,
Shout out to Harry Potter.
It
with the
ain't
I
no
pressure.
love
knock.
HB.
It ain't no knock to the rest of them, but
And that
get
was
low.
picked up by-
Let him do his thing, man. Let him control the offense. Let's see what he could do.
I would want to see him take over a whole game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let him. And then if that how that plays
Speaking
out,
of,
then let the next
there he
one
goes,
do the
taking
same
off.
thing.
Yeah.
He makes good decisions. Takes care of the ball.
Has the first down.
And he's tough to tackle.
Yeah.
1-on-1.
that's a fact.
If they put
But look at Savion.
Savion
Kept his pants on.
pants and shoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't come out of nothing, that one.
Their pickup on the D line was crazy.
yeah.
Zachary Sarong.
But again,
One of my
Jeremiah, he didn't have no.
homeboys.
This right here. Okay, look.
This
This
angle
I wanted to
is
talk
tough.
about this. Okay, look.
There goes Alex.
Right, watch this.
And he's tackled at the 5-yard line. Great
What?
camera.
Hey, that's cold.
Was he counting the
How-
people
they
or
hit
was he
him,
counting the fucking yards he got? Okay,
Oh,
because
yeah,
he was
no.
trying to count the people and say it would take 5 people to tackle him, bro. You only got 5 or 4 yards.
Yeah.
Knock
Like
it
if
off.
you'd have
And
scored,
there
that would have been
goes
hard.
Mr. Delaney.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
And there he goes.
That boy's quick.
And
Yeah.
he
If you let him catch his stride,
down.
Any
That's
of
gonna be
them.
a tough one to
OTT
catch.
is fast, bro.
fast, they got grit.
This right here was a bomb.
Oh, yeah. Dot.
Takes a shot deep.
Dot.
And he's gonna make.
Only he could have caught that.
I like the receiver's effort, though.
Touchdown
Yeah.
over
He
the
dove
top.
for it. He didn't expect for it to just be in his hands.
That's one thing we wish
went
we
up and
saw a
got
lot
it.
more of. That's actually a good ball.
Going. It
is a good ball.
That's a great ball.
Didn't he get hurt on that?
Yes.
I would have wanted to see more of those, though.
Yeah.
Tipped. Intercepted.
But this is why I
Picked
say
off.
the
And coming
goal,
back the other way.
they got
And that's
some
a
type of heart,
Ramsey.
but
That is Mr.
They-
Ramsey.
they gotta link
Jr.,
up with the
Robert
Hunters,
Ramsey Jr.,
man.
And kiss him. Bye bye, baby.
Jeremiah has a
Touchdown.
long
And the
road to
flip into the
rebuild,
end
and if he
zone.
doesn't find somebody to
link
merge
up with the Hunters, bro. Yeah, that was
Zachary
abuse.
Sarong.
That was abuse.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was abuse.
Yes, Mr.
On so many
Fly,
levels.
OTT fly.
Come on.
He'll keep it himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, great blocking out front.
Come here.
Titanium
Walked right in.
just into
Ugh,
this
and
game.
You
Jesus'
can hear the
Touchdown.
titanium clacking
Yeah.
when he runs.
He prayed on that.
Clack, 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 clack.
Yeah. I
All
love
right.
them boys over there. They got busy.
They
definitely
they
gave
got
us something
some-
to watch.
They got some depth, got some uniforms, and they possibly could be a.
And we talked about that.
Yes.
You know, we kept saying when we watched them play, like last season, not fall brawl, but last season.
last spring, yeah.
We kept saying, you know, man, if they got a few more players, they got some depth, they'd be dangerous.
And look what they
They
got.
got some
And look
depth.
what they got.
They got some depth.
Been saying that since day one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
took for a couple of their players to leave.
Yep.
Experience some other stuff elsewhere. But it brought them right back, and when they came back stronger.
They brought some
would
people
agree.
with them.
And brought some company.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, those guys right now, OTT looks like the team we had always talked about. And
I want to see OTT Kryptonite.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Because I think that's going to be, that's going to be a good
That's gonna be
game.
a
I want
real
to see
good
OTT versus Kryptonite.
Now next week we will preview week 2
Good
of,
bosses versus
as we are
Hunters.
taking the week off to celebrate Resurrection Sunday and Easter. So please enjoy the holiday with your families. But we'll be back April the 7th at Chaparral High on Fox 5.2, Cox 125, Caffeine TV, and HBCU Plus, and of course Globally on the Zone. Gentlemen, final thoughts. Who wants to lead off?
I'll take this one. Go ahead.
Go ahead, big
I
man.
always finish first. You guys turn.
Oh, yeah. I don't I don't do sloppy seconds anymore.
Oh, good Lord.
First and foremost, I appreciate you guys for having me. I appreciate Derek. Appreciate the A7. Most importantly, I appreciate myself.
You're a real MVP.
Yeah.
Okay, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back.
Hey, but they're big
one
enough.
fucked on
You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm excited to just keep on seeing what's going to happen within the season. Whether it's teams coming out and proving points, or if it's teams settling for what they've always settled for. But I'm excited to see what the season holds.
Scott, you can go second.
Oh,
Yeah,
huh.
your turn.
I have bad seconds sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
good
cool.
Lord.
No, I'm really excited to see that we're getting.
Sloppy
Doesn't feel the
seconds.
same.
Never mind. I was gonna go real fucked up. I was gonna die real dirty on that one, but never mind. A little extra lube don't ever hurt nobody.
Wow.
Jiffy
Yeah.
Lube, shout out to
Exactly.
them if you need
If you need an oil change,
tire rotation,
whatever,
air filters.
they got you.
Got you.
You could fit a doghouse, a Cadillac in a doghouse with some Astroglide. I'm telling you.
That's a mobile home.
Lord help
Yeah.
us.
Anyway,
Hot dog down the
No,
hallway.
that's about it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can fit a
my
Cadillac in
bad,
a
go ahead.
doghouse with some Astroglide. Have a good night.
That's your final thought.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Go
You
ahead,
or me?
Chris. Go ahead,
Me?
Chris.
Okay. My where to start, where to leave off, where to put it in the middle. Yeah, that was for you, Scott. So being able to watch this first Sunday was impressive. We talked about it before the game. We talked about it last Wednesday. We didn't know what to expect because we didn't see rosters, which we didn't. Kelly kept those things close to her vest.
Guarded for her life.
Yes, and we didn't see him until game day,
Mm-hmm.
an
hour before.
the
Yeah.
game. So we didn't know what to expect. So all I could say is that what I saw last Sunday, every game, and I don't care if it was a blowout. What I saw last Sunday was every team stepping up and playing their ass off, and I can't say anything bad about that.
I'm genuinely excited to see how good the Force can get. Like, I genuinely think Tone turns that team around. Let me change my final thought. Tone might be the best pickup the Force have had in years. Like that, him at this level, at this point in his career right now, like with the hunger that he has, the skill that he's picked up, the weight he's put on, the little speed he's put on, like on top of what he had, I think that's gonna be a headache for a lot of people for a long time.
Playing with a purpose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead and continue, Chris. If you still have any more thoughts.
Yes, no. Last piece was just the fact that I'm looking forward to next Sunday. Obviously, with us being off this Sunday, the following Sunday is going to be very interesting. Really looking forward to the matchups that we have and talking about it next week. Because I'll tell you what, everything that I said last Wednesday just got blown the hell up. So we'll see what happens.
We were hella off on our 3-on-1.
all of them. All of them.
Yeah.
Only two.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it was that bad.
We weren't that off.
Yeah, not
the Force,
too much.
The Force surprised, and with how much work they came out and put in, I understand how upset they were in the chat. Like, it makes sense why they were like, y'all really been, y'all. I understand why you feel disrespected by that prediction, and not even on some ass kissing shit. You're gonna see those predictions change a little bit. You guys.
Well, because
You
if
guys-
you don't know what
Yeah,
a
I was
team
gonna
has,
say they got to understand too that we didn't necessarily know, and I wouldn't say who's on the team matters,
But
we'll just say depth matters.
Matters.
You know
Big
what I'm
time.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's like we didn't necessarily know.
exactly.
So would any of us, could any of us sit here and say right now, when they lost Curtis Jones, when they lost Paige, can anybody sit here and say,
Tyreek.
oh, they're going to get better?
Tyreek.
It took time.
Because we didn't know.
It took time.
Yeah.
Just like it took OTT time.
Yeah, we
So
didn't know what was
they-
coming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll be the first one to say I apologize for what I said, but
I ain't
my
apologizing.
prediction, what was the final score?
38-25.
And my final score that I had was 42 to 22 or 45-22. So, I mean, and was I that far off? No.
Nah.
But at the same time, I thought the Force was going to be good. I didn't know they were going to be that good. Plain and simple. I'll give them the props.
I'm going to get personal for a minute,
Mm.
and this is not related to football. A lot of people notice that I've been very quiet for most of the show. Well, I have a reason. 104 years ago on this date, one of the greatest men I ever known was born. And the only reason why I'm a decent human being today is because of that man. Because of that man, I learned at an early age what it's like to have a servant's heart and be a servant for other people and do for others when they can't do for themselves. I've watched this man literally have harm threatened to him, but yet and still, he took me to go pray for this man, and the minute he walked through the door, that man is smiling at the same man that he threatened harm to. And in addition to that, to add to his integrity, man didn't have a suit for him to be buried in. That same man gave him a suit for him to be buried in. Anything I know about being a decent human being in this life is because of that man. And I can only hope, where he is watching from above, that he is enjoying watching his only grandson doing what he wanted to do since he was 5 years old. Because I guarantee you he'd be smiling from ear to ear. I am only who I am is because of one Mr. James Hopkins. Papa, happy birthday. You are missed more than you know. And thank you for being the ultimate father figure that I had in my life, because without you, Lord only knows what kind of a man I would be today. Which is why I stress the importance of, if you have a grandparent that is still living, and more importantly is still in their right mind, you need to savor and hang on to every little bit of knowledge they try to give you in this busy walk of life, because when they transition, you are going to want that back. What I wouldn't give to watch one more game, have one more game of catch, or just to talk about life with my old man.
Ain't that the truth? Amen.
So I can only stress, if they're living, cherish them, honor them, love them, but more importantly, absorb every little life experience they're trying to give you. Because somewhere down the road, you're going to need it. That's
Truth
all I
on
got to
that.
say. Nonetheless,
Happy
Cheers
birthday to your
him. Happy
grandfather in
birthday.
heaven.
Cheers.
And
And
happy
by-
birthday to my wife tomorrow.
yes,
Hey,
and
lift-
also, by the way,
Lift that coat. You didn't lift your coat. All right.
Also, by the way,
Love you.
happy early birthday to Mel Carey, who works tremendously hard for Flash Media Sports and for A7. Shout out to him. Happy birthday.
Thank you for the on-field shots this weekend. We
Yes,
appreciate
fantastic
that.
tremendous
shots.
camera work.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Don't forget to catch the parlay with Woody and Jay. That's in Florida. Don't forget the 3-on-1 with Matt, Rob, and Corey. Don't forget the All-Pro Joffos with JP, Country K, and DJ Matt Sticks. Don't forget me and Chris on our last Saturday show. We are moving to Tuesdays in April, so catch our last Saturday show this upcoming Saturday from 5 to 6. And also, because Scott always gives me shit because I don't promote my own damn podcast, The Mizzle and Dub Show, also on YouTube. So don't forget all those. But nonetheless, thank you guys for watching episode number 78. It definitely was one for the ages. Interesting what happens when you have no guests. You get to talk about football and create some banter.
And some buzz.
And yes, Vincent Edward Jackson, congratulations on going into the Kansas City Royals Hall of Fame. Certainly the greatest athlete I've ever seen in my lifetime. But love you too, Scotty. Appreciate you. But nonetheless, thanks to Quan59 for doing what he does. Thanks to the sleeping working man Pierre, and
Love you guys.
hearing his
Thanks for everything.
hearing his stuff.
Oh, sleepy butt.
Also, shout out to Derek Duncan, the executive
Snoring out of both
producer.
ends.
Shout out to Nick Blaze. Get well in your recovery. Shout out to Vince Young. Get well in your recovery. And Knox has a fan.
Oh, yeah, it's his wife, man. Come on.
Shout out to Miss,
Ooh, hey.
shout out to Miss
Hey,
Pia
you got a
Marie.
problem on your hands
All
when
right,
you
you
down.
better quit playing. The show don't start until 9 o'clock, and we
No,
are
no.
20 minutes away.
And also, don't forget to check out Knox with Fees and Biggie on Your Hair with Biggie Friends at 9 p.m. Don't forget that also.
Oh yeah, well tonight we will have ice on there. My bad. I just wanted to throw that out there. We'll have ice
No,
on
go
there
ahead,
tonight. My
promote.
bad. No, that's it.
Also,
Not another medium?
don't forget the Unnamed Sports Show with 5'9" also.
Doing his thing.
Shazam gonna be on next.
Okay, I think I have plugged every motherfucking body with every freaking
That's how I
podcast known
feel
to
when
man.
I show up to certain clubs.
You forgot to.
Also, shout out to Steve Ashmore Media. Also, shout out to him. Is there anybody else?
Yep, 2 people.
Jeep Only is the official sponsor of the
Yes, them
A7FL
too.
World
Oh, yeah.
Champion
And Blue
Insomniacs.
too.
At
And
Jeep
only
Only,
that.
customer satisfaction is their top priority. Jeep Only is the name, but Jeeps aren't the only thing that they sell. They have all brands available for purchase. You'll experience a seamless buy-in process and enjoy peace of mind knowing that you're getting the best value for your investment. Call 702-788-1748 and ask for Tommy Smith and mention your
Hold on, one more
A7FL
thing.
World Champion Insomniacs and receive that special discount.
Also, don't forget, shout out to Dripping Soul also. Anyhow, for Chris, for the Asgardian, for Nox25,
I'll see y'all.
I'm just the bald-headed light skin. Y'all be safe. Take care of each other. God bless.
Peace.
And we'll see you on the other side of the ball.